the Indian Creek Correctional Center. It is primarily all therapeutic community up until 2020. See, when COVID hit, it kind of shut it down. But anyway, let me tell you this story. In late 2019, I was transferred to Indian Creek Correctional Center from Greensville, just with a couple years left to go till release. It was triggered by so many dirty urines at Greensville Correctional Center is why they shipped me and my cell partner out on the same day. We had like 20 dirty urines in 6 months. Hence, Indian Creek Correctional Center is supposed to be therapeutic community, TC, which is a type of rehabilitative type treatment. It's to prepare you for the free world, basically. This TC is a very, very interactive, intense treatment program where everybody heads to the front every day at 7 a.m., sits close together. Inmates run it and govern it, and there's rules to follow. It's like a very complex NA group meeting or something, but it's a program, daily program. It's ran by Spectrum Health Systems, and it's all about money, that federal funding from the feds. They're getting paid from this program, which does nothing. In this program, when you advance, it's called phasing up. All they care about is you phasing up. They don't care if you're really getting any better or if you're prepared for the free world or whatnot. They just want to phase you up so they can get that federal funding. It's been said they get 10 grand every time we phase up. For each inmate, there's 3 phases to phase up to. So they get like 30 grand just for us being in this program. I'm lucky I came in when I did. I was going through orientation, which is not like the TC programming. It's just preparing you for it. In 2020, COVID struck. And because of that, social distancing shut this program down. The program took a lot of hits because of it. This program cannot be ran without inmates in closed quarters together. Like, you sit next to each other up in the front. So with social distancing, you have no program. And I got lucky, man. In this program, people are seated side by side. And you have to stand up in the front and speak and introduce yourself and all types of weird stuff, man, that I am not comfortable with. But Indian Creek became a full-time terror dome. Gang fights daily. Sometimes I've seen 30 people rumbling at one time. So many people fighting, they back the bus up to the building and load them up and ship them off. Became a tattoo parlor. Everybody tattooing. Methamphetamine was all over the place. Every night you see people up tweaking all night long. And the Suboxone was prominent. That's all over the compound. And you can tell when there's none of that around because people are up walking around at night, can't sleep, miserable. I know you know what spice is. Well, the chemicals they put on the flour to make spice, those chemicals are research chems, and there's thousands of different types. Well, they get it like $8,000 an ounce, and they put it in a perfume bottle. They spray sheets of paper. Then they get the sheets of paper into the prison, and they cut up little squares. A square is a 1/4 by 1/4 inch piece. They take that 1/4 by 1/4 inch piece, cut it into slithers, put it in a paper, and smoke it. They call that chicken. But like I've spoke on before, many people don't know how to smoke it, and they can't handle it. People are all the time falling out at Indian Creek. 3, 4, 5 people at a time drop to the floor. They urinate and defecate all over themselves. Pretty wild. I've seen 3 or 4 people at a time pass it around, and then they all fall on the floor one by one. You see people in every corner and crack with needles shooting up all inside the dorm. Everywhere you look, there's somebody with a needle shooting up, heroin, meth, or Suboxone, one or the other. I was glad when my release date came up and I was able to get out of there. I am not an injection drug user. I never have been. I did Suboxone, and that's about the worst. The program, though, it is not really a program. It doesn't do any type of extra helping people. It's supposed to prepare you for the free world. The only thing that it really does is it gets your driving record there, and it gets you an identification card, an official one from the state that you can use when you get out. Then make sure you have your social security card and your birth certificate, which is a plus. So they do a little something, but man, the gang fights is crazy. The gang members, they go around, they rob people. Like I was a winemaker and I had a partner, and my partner was a Crip. If it had not been for that, these guys would have been trying to rob me for the wine I was making. Like, I'm telling you, it's crazy up in there. It's like the Terror Dome, man. People that aren't doing good, they join the gang, and then they go and rob people, and they try to come up in the world. One guy got messed up really bad while I was there. This gang member urinated on a guy's face, and the guy went and he boiled grease in the microwave and walked up to the dude while he was on the phone and slung it in his face. Almost all of that guy's face is gone. It's bad. It's so much different violent shit I could tell you, man. You just wouldn't even believe. But I'm glad to be out of there. But that's the prison I went home from. And that is the stuff that was going on in a re-entry pre-release program. That's what that was. How can anyone prepare for the streets like that? You know? It's crazy, man. Like, our prisons really need to be reformed.